Hello everyone, welcome to 48 Now. I'm your digital host, Tatiana White, and I am here today with the City of Huntsville Parks and Recreation Superintendent of Recreation Community Services, Dorianne Johnson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Yes, good. Thank you for joining. It's a pleasure having you. And so at the City of Huntsville Parks and Recreation, there is a Male Mentorship Program for boys ages 7 through 16, and the program focuses on giving boys the tools they need to become positive, self-assured young men, and they are here to share a little more about this program and the importance of having something like this in the community. And so I just wanted to start by telling us more about the Male Mentorship Program and what it aims to accomplish.
Absolutely. The Male Mentorship Program, we like to call it the Male Mentorship Experience,
Yes.
because that's our whole goal when we started the program, was to provide a dynamic experience. The program started about 3 years ago. We were fortunate to get a grant for $70,000 from NRPA about 2 years ago to facilitate the program. And we started out with about 50 boys, and now we have enrolled 75. But we can maybe have 45 to 50 to show up consistently. Again, it's for boys 7 to 16. We do everything from build solar cars, build solar houses. We do etiquette training annually, which is always a treat. we do tie-tying classes, and more importantly, it's a group mentorship program. So it's never one-on-one. We cover a variety of topics. Like this past weekend, we covered real friends, real choices, where we talked about the importance of choosing friends wisely. And we partner with other organizations to facilitate these sessions. We actually partner with the Housing Authority. Mr. Fred Woodlow actually led that session last weekend. It was amazing. So again, we are a group mentorship program. We do meet once or twice a month, depending on the activity. It is free. This year, we only charge a $25 registration fee, but all the activities are free. And it's just been an amazing experience. And we actually start registration normally in July. We kick off in September, and we go all the way to May. So we go incoherent with the school year, which is really, really good. And it's led by two dynamic employees that I have. That we call them program coordinators, but they're actually our recreation administrative coordinators, but they facilitate the program for us. And it's Tony Lamar and Brian Wilson. They actually facilitated the MLK clinic this past couple weekends ago. And it's just been going amazing. You know, I could not have imagined that it would grow like it's grown. I'm really grateful for the support that I've received from the city, and in particular the Director of Park and Recreation. So it's been going really well.
Yes, it sounds amazing.
It is. I'm very pleased with the program.
Yeah.
I am.
And then the fact that it's throughout the school year, so it's something to keep the young men like grounded throughout the year. So, you know, if they stray away, they have something to keep going back to. So
Absolutely. Well, when we started the program 3 years ago, I had moved back here. And I had a nephew that was in high school at Clemens High School. And I met a couple of guys with him at the park. And it was obvious that they needed mentorship.
yes.
But when I talked to them about it, they didn't want traditional mentorship. They wanted something where they can have fun and still come and connect, which was interesting that they did desire it.
Yeah.
And so as I began to, when I first got here, as I began to go through the different recreation centers and meet different young men, it was kind of the same thing. It was like, hey, I'm open to mentorship, but I don't want to come and sit in the classroom all day. I want to go somewhere and have fun. And so immediately that became a part of the core values was exposure. Exposure, engagement, and then the experience. And so I think that's what made it so awesome when you have a parent to say, my son has never left my side, and trust them to drop a son off with you. Because actually the parents drop them off with us or bring them to participate, and then they leave.
Yes.
you leave and they're like, wow, will he leave? We don't have to be here. No, we facilitate the program. We have dynamic mentors. They're all volunteers, and they are vetted through background checks. So we make sure that our mentors are approved by approved by the city and approved by. They actually have to go through an FBI check.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's pretty
awesome.
extensive. And so we do make sure that they are legitimate, and they're very devoted and very committed to these young men. And it's just been amazing. But when you have a parent to say, my young man has never left my side, or my son has never left my side, and he comes home and he's excited to do other things with other boys his age and have a great time. And she was very emotional, and I'll never forget that. And I think that was my first year here, and to see that same young man be in our program 3 years later.
That's awesome.
And we're not perfect, we're still growing.
Yeah.
But we've learned there's no magic to mentorship.
Right.
It's just being present, being organized, being available, and making sure that you're meeting a need.
Right, and yeah, giving them that community, because I know sometimes
Absolutely.
like that one-on-one, it can be a little intimidating, but when there's like a group of people going through it with you, I'm sure it helps. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. One of the areas we're really growing in this year is what we're doing what we call roundtables, and I experienced it when I was an athletic director, and we would go to the NACDA conference, which is the conference for athletic directors and coaches and athletic administrators. But one thing they used to do was do roundtables, and it would help us connect. And so I would be at a round table with some person from a university I never heard of sometimes, but it was a really great way to connect. So we're actually implementing that model this year into some of our sessions, and it's going really well because it's helping the boys connect with each other, giving them an opportunity to communicate, but also giving them an opportunity to get to know the mentors as well. So it's been amazing so far.
It sounds great.
Thank you, thank you.
And what do you hope for like the young mentees to gain from the program? I know you talked about like they learn how to tie ties and things like that. What other activities or topics do you guys touch on or try to touch on?
Well, we touch on hygiene, which is I would bring that up, but actually what we do is sometimes we talk at the end of the year, sometimes we'll talk to the mentors and talk to the boys and find out, okay, what would you like to be a part of the mentorship program this upcoming year? But I think one of the consistent topics that we do hygiene, we do self-control and self-confidence. Those are the three that we really focus on a lot. And if you ask one of the mentor or mentees, the first thing they'll say is, we talk about hygiene or self-control. Because right now, self-control is so important for kids, not just for boys, but for all kids. You know, knowing how to manage your emotions in school and at home, whether things are great or whether things are not great. And that's what we found to be very effective. So they can be kind of self-assured. You know, one of the things when we started the program was, you know, helping them form identity at an early age, helping them kind of establish what I like, what I don't like, how to build team, how to be around a team. You know, because sometimes when I'm 7 years old, I've been around mom and dad a lot, the average 7-year-old. So now it's how I'm going into second grade and how do I do this? How do I, you know, now I'm kind of going out of baby mode and kind of getting out here. And so I think being a part of the mentorship program really helps that. And then it also helps the older boys, when they are around the younger boys, mentor the younger guys just about how they react and how they behave. So it's been great.
And that's amazing because like you said, like the older guys kind of can help the younger ones as well. Have you, I know it's only been around for 3 years, but have you seen any of the older guys who graduate from the program come back to be mentors or anything? Or do you hope for that?
We haven't established that yet, but we have been in talks about how can we get our teens to come back and be a part of the program. With being so young, we still haven't gotten to that point yet, but we have talked about it. Absolutely.
That's amazing. And what inspired the creation of the program? Like, how did it get started?
Again, well, a few years ago, actually, I had the desire before I came to Huntsville. I was in another city, and I saw there was just this need for boys. And it's not just for minority, it was for all boys. And it was a lot for girls, like you had Girl Scouts and you had all these different organizations, Girls Inc., but then for boys, it's just, even in other places, I didn't see a lot of programming for boys. But then when I got here, and again, I was with my nephew, and I was at a park, and I began to look around and going to visit different centers, because what we do is we always make sure there's a need before we establish any programs. And it was very clear there was a need. And again, I came here, and I didn't see a ton of activity for boys where they could just be themselves and just engage and connect with other boys on a larger scale. And so that's kind of where it started, to help them find identity and do that here.
And I think that's so important. I feel like even just growing up, I've seen a lot of young men like kind of stray away from a good path because they're trying to find identity in other people versus like having a good group of people to guide them who have been there at their age. They know what they are going through. So and so how have you seen like the program evolve over time? Like what impact do you hope it has?
I hope that, again, that we can establish mentorship through the young men that are, you know, kind of exiting the program, because the registration is open to everybody. It's not for one particular group. So I would love to see it diversify some more. I would love to see, again, those young men come back and mentor, because it's nothing like when you're in the community and you see one of them. It's like, hey, you know, it's like, you know, and so I would love to see that. And then also I would like to see more commitment from mentors. We have a great group, but I think that the more we get out, the more we do, the more connection we'll have. And I would love to see that. But eventually, my overall goal is to see more self-assured young men. you know, really know who they are and know what they, you know, where they're headed. Because it doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah.
If you can help a young man just figure out, hey, I think I like this, I think I like that, you can set him on a path. On a path of something that's positive instead on something that's negative.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly. And I think it will grow for sure, especially if it's only been here for 3 years. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Thank you.
And why would you say like mentorship is important overall? Like, what do you want the community to do to kind of help bring that mission to life? I
think mentorship is important because all of us at some point in our life have had it. And we know the impact of it. And I think everybody's story is different. But I think for me, I'm only doing what somebody else did for me.
Right.
And I think I know the impact that it made for my life. And so I'm hoping that we'll do the same. What I would love to see the community do is continue to support the program, continue to support, get the word out. Because I think sometimes we still are taking registrations now because we open. Sometimes we have kids that get a part of the program, but for whatever reason they can't consistently make it. So we have open spots. And so if you fill out a registration application, we talk to the parent and they're committed to, you know, the guidelines and the policies and procedures, they can be a part of the program. It's just that easy. And so I would love to see the community to continue to get the word out and support the program. And do you guys do like any like fundraisers or anything to kind of like pay for the activities that you guys have? Anything that the community can help pay for or anything? No, it's a free program. Right now, that's why we went after a grant, so the community would not have to. We want to continue to be a free program. And so no, we do not do any fundraising or sponsorships, and praise God. Yes. We haven't had to as of yet because I have a background in having to do fundraising and it's a lot of work. Yes, it is. But I'm very grateful that we've received grants. Actually, we also received a $5,000 grant from Target to assist with the program as well. So it's been self-sufficient. And again, it doesn't take a lot. It's not a whole lot of magic to it. It's just being available, being present, and being positive. And being organized. Yes, definitely organized. It makes a difference. Yes. And what kind of commitment is required from the mentors? Like, because if anybody's interested, like, what would they be required to do? I know, like, the background check and stuff, but other than that. Yeah, what's amazing is that was one of the things we considered when we started the program, is that we didn't want it to be taxing for anybody. Yes. So that's why it's a group mentorship program. So it's never where a mentor has to be one-on-one with a kid and be that responsible for a group of kids or a group. So it may be that this mentor is with this group this week, he may be with a different group next week. So we allow the mentors to get to know all of the kids. So that's first. Secondly, it's only sometimes it's once a month or sometimes it's twice a month. Each session does not go longer than 3 hours. Okay. So if you can commit to once a month for 3 hours, that's a huge, and that's all it is. Yeah. Outside of the background check, it's a once a month 3 hour commitment. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. And it's not taxing. And it allows you to be refreshed every time you come. Yes. Yeah. And believe it or not, it has a major impact. Yes. It really does. And especially if it's like new topics, something new. So it's something that everybody can look forward to. Every month. And some of the things, just like I was really excited about, and we kind of organize it that way, where it keeps it fresh. So in the fall, we normally do a construction project. We partner with Green Team. 1 year we built planter boxes. This past year, again, we did solar cars and solar houses, which was amazing. Yes. It was watching them build these solar cars and watching mentors help them build these solar cars. It was really good. Yes. And we actually did it at ChildWorks Museum. So we're not always in a rec center. We go to different places and do that. This year we added in art technology, which is amazing. The young man, I think his name is Jamal Fresco Turner. He did the art piece the design for the art piece at the Johnson Legacy Center. He leads that class. And this year, we actually order iPads through the grant, where the young man will get to learn how to draw on an iPad, because that's exactly how he did the art for the structure at the Johnson Legacy Center. So we're always offering new and innovative things. And so that's one of the things. If the community has new, different ideas, shoot us ideas. If you want us to bring the boys to your company to see what your some of the activities of some of the structures, like we got to go to a foundation that built drones last year. It was through a mentor, which was amazing, you know, to realize that you have a drone that can go faster than a car. Yeah. I mean, that may be new for me, but other people may know that, but that was new for me. I didn't realize drones could go that fast. Yeah, I didn't either. it was amazing to watch this and then watch the different sizes of drones. You have drones that are huge, some that are small, and what they're used for. And so that was a dynamic experience. So we do keep it fresh. We go to the Huntsville Havoc hockey game every year. We've been to the football, soccer game here every year. We're going to Trash Pandas game this year. So it's always something fresh, something new and exciting, because again, we want it to be an experience.
Yes, and I feel like that's so cool that you guys are giving them exposure to things they may not have been able to before.
Correct.
And then again, it goes back to the finding their own identity, because they're finding things like, okay, this is maybe something I will be interested in getting a career in, or getting my degree in. So
absolutely, absolutely.
And I wanted to ask, do you have any specific success stories from mentors or mentees that you wanted to share?
Yeah, actually, we have several actually, so I have to think about it. There's been so many. I think I'll tell you this one. This one was really a blessing to me, was that we had two young men, they're twins, and they actually had the opportunity to do a television interview, to be interviewed about the program. They were so excited about this opportunity. And not only that, their mother was so excited that they had a chance to get that kind of exposure. And they're 13. They were very nervous, and they did an amazing job. And you should see their confidence level now, right? And then there was another young man we had our first year that I will never forget. He was a part of the program. He was one of the older kids, so he has actually graduated the program. That year, I think he was 16, and we out at, you grade out at 17. Well, he wants to do communications, and we actually attended the Alabama A&M basketball game, and the sports information team allowed him to come down during the game and be a part of the communications team during the game. So he got to commentate during the game because he wants to do commentating. When we left that game, his eyes were so big. And to see a 16-year-old, try to stay cool, but really excited that he had this opportunity, I think that was so important. I was so grateful for them for doing that. I think that really can change somebody's life. Just giving them that opportunity. And he really enjoyed it. He was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to go after. Just that experience. And so those are the stories that I think people don't hear about that make the difference. And the mentors, we have a mentor this year. His name is Christopher Daniels. He's an engineer, I think, on the Arsenal. And he had the opportunity to interview on behalf of our program for the National Parks and Rec Association. And he was so excited. He was so excited. And he actually mentored one of our mentees. And just to hear him speak about our program and deliver what we're actually doing, it says a lot to the program, because we didn't coach him through the interview. We wanted him to be authentic and tell him how he felt about the program. And it was just amazing, the impact that it's having on him, such an impact that he now brings different ideas to us all the time. Like now we're going to add an outdoor piece to our mentorship program. Got to vet it a little bit more, because I'm nervous about kayaking, and I got to get approved to the director. But when people get that excited about a program and they bring different ideas, that tells you they're enjoying it. You know what I mean?
And that's, again, amazing that you guys just creating this 3 years ago, and it's already growing so much and creating opportunities that people will never forget for mentors and mentees. So.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I saw through your website that you guys are always looking for more male mentors. So what would you say to encourage somebody to become a mentor? If they're like on the fence, they're not sure, what would you say to them?
I think most of the time I have found that people feel like they don't have the time. And that's why, again, we did a group model, a group mentorship model, as well as not intimidating, and we have great kids. We have never had a disciplinary problem in 3 years. That's one reason why it's about an experience. Because if they don't have a good experience, you have a lot of disciplinary problems. We have not had one. And our kids come from all over the city. It's not in one particular community. I think them understanding that it's a group model is not taxing. We're talking about one day, maybe a Saturday, for 3 hours a month. It's not a huge commitment. And I think when people realize it's not going to be as stressful, you can make the time for that. And then understanding that your presence alone, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all these accolades to be a great mentor. You just have to be present, be available, and want to be there. And know that you have something to offer. No matter what walk of life you have something to offer when you pass the background check.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Key on that. And I do think it's sometimes people can be intimidated because they're like, okay, to be a mentor, I have to have like all these things,
Yes.
have went to college, all this stuff. But everybody has something to offer.
Absolutely.
You know, because as a man, like you've been 16 or 7 and stuff,
Yes.
so you know, so you
Yes.
have that to offer at least.
Yeah, and I think that's very important because you know, 3 years ago, my team implemented the program, but I serve as the administrator. I'm at every single, I have not missed a mentorship session, but I do not facilitate the program. I want young men to see men run the program. So again, my recreation administrative coordinators, Brian Wilson and Tony Lamar, they serve as the connection for the, or the contact for the mentors. They facilitate the program. I help organize it, help design the curriculum. But outside of that, I let the men run the program. And I think sometimes when they see a woman, how is she running a male mentorship program? You know, but it's just the passion and desire came from my heart. But I'm so grateful to have a team that can facilitate the vision. So just be clear that it's not run totally by me.
That's awesome. And what qualities are you looking for, and how can someone get involved to be a mentor? Is there a way for them to sign up?
Absolutely. I think qualities I'm looking for, we have a set criteria. You have to be 19 or older. You have to, again, pass 2 background checks. But then I need people who are committed, because one thing we don't want is people, or wouldn't like, is people who, you know, come one time and then leave another. We've never really had that a lot, you know, but and also people who really want to do it, who are really passionate about young people and can relate to young people. Sometimes you have people that want to be a mentor, and young people drive them crazy. So, you know, young adult mentorship may not be the good place, but people who are committed and want to make a difference. That's what's most important. And if you want more information, go to City of Huntsville's website and just simply go to the search bar and type in Male Mentorship Program or Male Mentorship Experience, and it'll take you to it, and you can read about the program, or you can contact me directly, Dorianne Johnson, at 256-851-4040. That's my office number. And it'll bring you directly to me. We'll get you started.
Yes, that's awesome. And aside from mentors, what do you feel like are maybe the biggest needs that you guys have, or do you guys have any needs that you would want to be implemented into the program?
Well, into the program, I think, again, if people have different ideas, I would love to have conversations. Like we have parents. I love our parents. Our parents are now coming with ideas. Hey, I think this company will be a great place for the boys to go out and tour and see what they have to offer. I would love to see them learn more about the major job market, here in Huntsville. You know, we know technology, we know healthcare, we know education, but what else is art is becoming very popular here. So what else is becoming the attraction for Huntsville if they want to stay here and you know, and finish up school and work in their careers here? I would like to see more different ideas come about that. And so far, I mean, if people want to share that, again, they can reach me through my phone, through email. But I would love to see more of that added to the program right now. And then I got to find a way to make sure that we have a huge registration. Like we had 75 kids and we have a huge waiting list. But I think transportation is something I'm going to have to work on in the coming years. In the coming years is how can we, you know, maybe go and pick those kids up and bring them to the program.
Yeah, that would be a great addition. And I think the having multiple people ideas come in, especially like you said, from parents, if they've witnessed something in their own child that they want their child to work on, and maybe, you know, just bringing that idea as well could be helpful. So.
And we have several parents that do that now. We do. And so some of the needs is, you know, some services that we don't provide. And so, you know, connecting with organizations that can provide those services.
And so looking beyond this year, what are you hoping that, like maybe in the next 5 years, that you guys will be the Male Mentorship Program?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I think in the next 5 years, I think I would love to see it expand. Maybe our rec centers begin to run mentorship programs in the local community. You know, right now the program is run through my division, my actual administrative office, my team, but I would love to see it get to the point where, you know, the Richard Shower Center, the Lakewood Center, the Mark Russell has their own mentorship program that trickle down from this, and they're able to run it right there in their centers. I think that would be amazing.
That would be, it would be great, and hopefully help the wait list issue as well. Like, you know, having more available space and stuff. Where can people learn more to get involved? I know you talked about mentorship, and so is there any available spots currently for people to sign up to be mentees, or
Yes.
is it September time or?
Yes, we take applications year round.
Okay.
Because sometimes we have kids that are every year in January we lose maybe 4 or 5 kids, maybe 10, and so we have open spots.
Okay.
And so we all you do is contact my office, and I can email you out an application, or you can go online and get all my assistants' contact number, which is Brian Wilson and Tony Lamar. You can contact them after the registration closes, and we can get that information to you. Mentors, the application is open year round. You just go to City of Huntsville website again, go to Male Mentorship, and you will see the mentor application there. So those are ways you can get involved.
Yes.
It's not hard at all.
Yeah. And is there anything else you would like to add that we haven't touched on?
No, that is just an amazing program, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to be here and talk about it. So thank you so much.
Yes, no, thank you. I enjoyed learning about it. It's amazing, and it seems like you're doing
Absolutely.
something wonderful for the community. So thank
you. Thank you very much.
And so that is all that we have today for 48 Now. And please get involved with this amazing male mentorship program and support our youth in the Huntsville community. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.